Back here for Sunday. What is going on, folks? It is TCH Live, and we're here at the final table of our $150 MegaStack Freezeout 6K guaranteed prize pool. $2,400 here for first place tonight. And we've got some players you've seen before here. We've got Albert, the People's Champion, William the Net. We've got Dealer Frank here in the mix. We've got Cole. But we are fired up here as we're going to get our chips gathered here. Get everybody set up here between blinds 3,000 and 6,000. 6,000 big blind ante. Yeah, my name is Mike Yambler. We've got Victoria here filling in as producer. As we've got a couple of cash games also happening here at Texas Card House. Here tonight as we get cards up in the air, we'll get our final announcements here from our floor man, Bert. I think I was kind of like wandering around behind the scenes at this point, but we're on a 10 to 15 minute delay. So we'll get up and running here with the cards here shortly with about a 3.5 minutes left of blinds 3,000, 6,000. Then it's going to be 4,000, 8,000. We got Terry Hatcher. Terry rocks. He's been on the final table here many times. We hope maybe we can book a W here. I'm rooting for Terry. It's got it 4th, 5th. We say hello to everyone here in the chat. Alec Torelli's hitting chips. Of course, Nick from Yuma. Got Eugene Green, Noah Smarts, Ryan Crow dropped in for an update. The usual suspect. And hey, sending our best wishes to ATX Poker right now. Is in the emergency room for the next couple of days. His condition is taking a less than ideal turn, but so it's going to be all right. Could be in the ICU for a couple of days, so should recover. Watching here in bed tonight is Sunday. Let's go. It is time here for the first hand of our final table. All right, as we've got Cole here in the big blind. And we've got William going to shove. I gave him a little pregame pep talk. So you got to believe, my friend. Said he had aces cracked just before the final table. And with his stack here at this point, this is a good shove here that I think with his image he can get through, can get some fold outs from hands that might otherwise look up a more loose aggressive player in some of these spots. So maybe able a chance to pick up some blinds and annies. We got the tank. We've got Albert. And it looks like William's going to be able to get it through. So got a guy, a big Freddie Freeman jersey. Go Braves. Got Jedi Master Ted saying what up. Bompus Mike got 3rd at the TCH and RGV and got 2nd last weekend. Almost there. Baby steps. You're almost there. The next one, you're the chip leader and you win all your flips. So as we look at this stack here, we've got Frank, the tank, with a dominating chip position here at almost 500,000, eclipsing nearly the entire table here as prize pool is 6K. You got first 2,400. As you can see the payouts there on the bottom of your screen. All right, we got Frank, the tank, firing here under the gun up to 16K. Got Louis here with a call on the hijack here with King Queen off. We've got Melt. Let's see who else we got in the mix. Everybody going to fold out. So 3 players as we go to the flop. 63K right there in the middle. Let's see it. Going to miss everybody. 7 high. Melt the last player to act with Frank, the one to act first. He probably could have gotten through here with the C-bet, but checked here to mount in a prime position here to just position bet, drive out the rest of the opponents. Folks saying there this is a shove. Yeah, I think we're at a point now that since we started this stream a little bit later, the blinds are up a bit higher. So you see a lot of players now that it's fold or shove, but you have one big stack and the rest, like maybe a handful, maybe two like medium stacks and the rest short. So we're going to see some really kind of, I think, maybe more bizarre play around the bubble unless we don't. I mean, if we do get the premiums where it's just like you pick up ace king like it's going in, it is going to be, I think this is probably going to be a weird bubble here. But Nick from Humans says, Mike, thinking about rescuing a dog. You should absolutely do that. I mean, make sure you've got time and, yeah, you got the right kind of animal that is a great fit for you and your personality. That's why I kind of recommend fostering, just so that you know right away it's like, I'm going to keep this one, or like, hey, buddy, you look like we can get you up to speed and get you to a happy home where they can have more love for you. So I you know, take your time with it. But if you find a pupper there that just grabs your heart, then who the hell's for anyone to say no? All right, we got Albert here with a raise. Albert actually, I think, like second in chips here. We had 34 players, so the stack depth not quite as deep, I think, at this point as we've been accustomed to seeing. But Super Sunday here at Texas Card House. And Albert's going to get no action here with the aces. As this next hand now going to go blinds 4,000 and 8,000. William now had to post the blinds and the antes. Again, hit that like button, click subscribe. We do this each and every Sunday. So 34 entries, prize pool of 6K, first 2,400, second 1,620, third 1,140, and fourth 840. So here we go. Frank the Tank, commanding position here. Looks like William, up there is this card. Didn't want to have a misdeal there as Albert, or yeah, just had aces. Now he's going to pick up ace king. Raise it up here 18, and here to Davey with the queen 9 suited. Get a fold out to see if any of these short stacks pick up a shove in hand. This might be here for Cole, but he's going to have no fold equity, like he's going to call whether or not Albert's got a good hand or not. And as we see, he's pretty much crushed here, so good lay down there. And, all right, William. He's going to move in here with ace deuce. He's going to have to get lucky. The Tank, Mr. Frank here with pocket sevens. He's already in the big blind here for 8K with the 8K big blind ante. So now does it matter is we want to put a re-raise out and isolate, or potentially face a reshove, or potentially fold, in the matter of fact that if he calls, he can get jammed on almost all the time. But definitely by any of Albert's premium hands, especially any of his marginal ones that are a lot more. So he is going to call here, take a chance that Albert's not going to shove, and here comes the Albert train right over the top as he's got a hand good enough to do it. And now Frank is going to have to entertain the opportunity of maybe knocking out two players at once. Obviously fearing any overpair above his sevens, but let's see what the amount is. It's going to be about 127 to call. A pot that's about 300K. So 127K more. I mean, there's just... Mel, ace deuce versus ace king. Frank might have thought there might have been a better hand, but be flipping for a lot of chips and gonna pick up the side. William looking here to get lucky. Ace deuce versus ace king. Here we go. The 7 right there in the window, Frank. Come on. Come on, Frank. I kid. Still ace king high. Queen. I always kind of razz Frank whenever I see him for no real reason. So he would have just knocked out 2 players there. But that's why we're not results oriented. But Albert here going to pick up a ton of chips. Now almost at 300K. Short stack Cole here at just about 5 bigs. Then let's go back here into the chat. Nick from UMS saying has got an antisocial cat, so he's concerned about that factor with the dog. Yeah, I mean, that's often why I just kind of recommend fostering, so that, you know, either if, like, that becomes a dog that you tend to take on, you could at least get to see if, like, hey, he or she and the cat are gonna jive, man. Sometimes they figure it out, sometimes they don't. Don't want to get a hyper-aggressive dog that wants to eat the cat, because that'd be less than an ideal time. All right, ATX Poker. Mike, we would love to come out one weekend and cover the tournament instead of play and give a recap to how many people got to the final table. Yeah, I would probably think you're more than welcome to do that. Yes, all right, we got Louie, Lucky Louie. You were saying 7s maybe should have jammed over the top. That's going to be an interesting point there to reflect on here, as shove here by Cole with ace-5 for his last 46K blinds, now 4,000, 8,000. Again, he's down to 5 big blinds at this point. Melt had limped, and he's folding for the fact that he's got 160K, and it represents, like maybe like a fourth of his stack to call off there. Probably had he raised, he might have just been able to drive Cole out of it, or Nick saying 7 should have jammed behind William. Yeah, it's easy to be like results oriented after the fact. Like I'm trying to just view it all from the perspective of Frank right there. So it's like 127K to call. So it's essentially like a fourth of his stack at that point to call upon. That's 300K. That would, with Williams in there. So essentially put him in a position that he would be close to like 800 or 900 or like $1 million in chips if he wins. Problem is, like, if he shoves, does Albert call there? Most likely yes, but he's also fearful for the time if it turns out to be a total punt. So he's gambling there that maybe Albert's not going to raise behind. But, all right, we have got a limp raise all in here by Davey, trying to swing for the fences like he's Freddie Freeman. And Melt here, who had a raise with ace-queen, got flatted with ace-king, or got flatted by ace-king right behind him. Daniel says Terry is such a good tournament player. That's right. He gets here often. Cat P says, hi, Mike. How are you tonight? I'm doing well. Very good. We got some exciting final table action here on TCH Live, so it's a good amount of football and sports. There's a lot of sports this weekend. But here on the final table, we've got what could potentially be a three-way all-in. Eric has jammed here with ace king. Over the top of the limp re-raise. Jam by Davey. So Melt is kind of stuck here in the middle with his last 86K. To call it off would leave him with like less than maybe 2 big blinds. And he's figuring maybe he's up against a couple little pairs, but he is crushed right now pre-flop. Absolutely crushed, but we'll see what we get in the flop. It's always tough to be the third person in with ace-queen. It's the bottom of the range I think you generally want to be in this spot, but tournament poker is a little different animal in that respect, where the stacks are the way they are. People can be more desperate and make more random hand combinations. So I don't fault them for calling off here in this spot. It's just generally the ideal moves in the spot and are going to be shoves from. But either way, we got 3 hands in the middle. Eric, I think, has to feel maybe the most optimistic out of this spot that he's able to get what's going to be a 369K pot in there with ace king. And if he wins, I mean, we got ourselves a lot closer here to the money. All right, they counted all out here, so we've got the side pot and we've got the main because Davies was 73K. Eric was 142K. So we got it figured out there, and that's our talented dealing staff here at Texas Card House. And that's the soft brain busters like that one. All right, here we go. We're going to get a flop. Ace, king, ace, queen, pocket fours, jack right in the window. King, straight draw here for ace, queen. Kings and jacks. Oh, he peels it. Peels it. Still got some life, though. And ace-queen is going to win the 3-way all-in. Davey has been eliminated. Eric has been eliminated. Melt, living true to his name. Evaporating the competition here on this table, as now he is going to be back here to, he's going to be up to 386K. We will have 3 small stacks below. So there's now kind of an equal dispersion of chips where I don't, it's like, yeah, we still have some small stacks here, but we've got a lot of stacked ups now here between the top 3 or 4 that maybe we could see some more dynamic play for you. But here in the chat, say Andrew Vading's Poker Vlog says, I lost jacks versus ace queen, ace king today in the 67K prize pool tourney. King on the flop. Yeah, I think we've all been there. That been following along. Pretty entertaining Instagram there by Andrew out there in Houston. So as we're going to continue here, blinds 4,000 and 8,000 with 6 players remaining. Melt taking out 2 players. Here with ace queen. Greg. Or GJ Bronze is drinking a beer for you, Mike. Well, I appreciate it, man. Have another one. I don't have just one, man. Gotta have 2. At least 3. All right, we got Frank, the tank. Yeah, that's the tough part, Andrew. Is says thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to ship it on a 17K on top. This. Yeah, I know that's a like. There's just no one person gets to go home happy. That's a bad part about tournaments. Just like one person, only one person gets to be the chosen one. So it sucks when it's not you. Amazing when it is, though. All right, King 9, Queen Jack. And going to bet here as Frank the Tank C bets. Albert with no piece of it going to pick up the pot. So as we continue, the die slow now says this is so much better than the NFL and NBA. Appreciate you, buddy, joining me. All right, blinds 4,000, 8,000. We are down to 6 players. Louis, Cole, and Terry, a short stack. Terry all right here at 11 bigs. Going to be under the gun, so next round of Annie's will be on her. So we'll see here between like 6 players. The Annie tends to eat up at you a little quicker here if you're the shorter stack. So right now, Frank and Mount, and to a degree, maybe Albert can kind of just chill here for a bit. Or they could just kind of pick their spots as to which stacks they want to attack, because I would be a little leery of trying to go after Melt's big blinds, because it just seems like from the early indications that he's likely going to defend. So you want to absolutely have a really good hand like Terry does here with ace-jack suited. If you're going to pop it up. As Melt not going to play the 9 Triz though, so good little servant of chips there for Terry. As continue 4,000 and 8,000. Again, hit that like button. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. It was sports, college football, the SEC, Big 12 big games. LSU got upset by Mississippi State. Texas had this crazy comeback from like 15 down with 3 minutes left. Somebody else got beat too. That was really good. It was a lot of fantastic games on. So that's how I recharge. Some people, they do yoga. For me, it is about surround myself with 3 screens, watch nothing but sports, and don't talk to anyone. That to me is like the recharge chamber. So, all right, we got Albert here to the small blind as we continue here down to 6 players. Cole, almost better than aces. He gets a walk and a big blind with his blinds and ante posted. So, people talking about Scary Terry, one of the greatest Rick and Morty characters of all time. I'm Scary Terry. Oh, bitch. All right. Nick from Yuma said they have the Halloween candy at CVS out. Great question here, Nick from Yuma. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Turn it here to the top. Turn it here to the chat. ATX Poker saying take dunks out of the park. I took him to daycare yesterday, so when I was watching college football, he could run around with his friends, and then when he gets home, he's going to be like, I'm just going to go to sleep now. So then today it was a couple more park trips in between half times and pregame, postgame. But back here to poker. Blinds 3K or 4K, 8K. Carey going to check the 10 Dewey. Cole completes here with the 3 deuce. Straight draw here for Terry. Pretty much a hammer lock on this hand. Unless Cole decides he wants to bluff at this, but out of position is less than ideal circumstances. 5 ball here on the end, 10 high good. Is somebody going to turn their hand into a bluff at all? Anyone? Cole realizes there's no way in heck he can win this. A min bet. Can Terry call here with 10 high? What a boss move that would be, that if he really feels like there's no way it would have bet a 5 or paired or any of this board, that with a min bet on the end, like how many times should you have to be right for this to be profitable, even with their stack? Like 8K, calls it with 10 high. Terry rules. Terry rules. 10 high is good. Jeff Cohen asking payouts. If you look on the bottom of your screen, and like that will show you all the payouts there. Nick from Umick, can we get a studio update? I'm going to just try to fire up my tablet here. I've actually not been paying attention to it, so let me take a look here. What's going on outside of the world of sports here. 4,008K. Who's Duty asking, how about them Cowboys? Well, I mean, they were like a 5.5-point dog at Seattle. They had a shot at the end. Like, it's just, that's what the odds makers thought would happen. That is what happened. I don't feel worse about them today than I did yesterday. It's like, yeah, you can see something's there, but to win in Seattle this time of year, it takes a little something extra. So I can't be too disappointed when that didn't happen. So decent game, but still a lot of work there to do in D-Town. Just like we have a lot of work to do, and we're completing at TCH Dallas. If you want to join our text updates to get the latest info, the work that's being done, text TCH Dallas to 21000. So check out our website, TexasCardHouse.com, and subscribe to Instagram on our TCH.Dallas. Top pair here for Terry. He's got both of our opponents crushed. They're going to put out a big C-bet here with a pot of 88K. 54, drive it both out, and there's some chips there for Terry, now up to 186K. Turning into a contender. Nick from Yuma, Matisow picked the Falcons to win, LOL. Yeah, I just realized, people will bet sports without really much information but their gut instinct, and it's just not, I'm a big enthusiast. I did 1 year where I did really intensive into college basketball, but that was 12 or 13 years ago, and now I just feel like you're just punting off money unless you've got some really good info. And I follow this stuff, and I just feel like the margins are too thin for it to be a realistically profitable move to sports bet. But some of y'all love the action, just like Louis loves the action here with Ace King. Gonna jam. As he should, man. Louis here with Ace King. Frank here with eights in the small blind. And he's going to jam in over the top. Learned his lesson from the last time. All right, Frank is a good player. See how good he is at winning flips. That's a real secret skill to this tournament. Do you just have a little more mojo than the other guy? That's really what all it comes down to, is mojo and moxie. Frank's not good at winning races. Top two now. And now King's full, so Frank started here with the chip lead, and now it's just these weird spots here in the final table where, you got a call there. Hope you can run a little bit better than your opponent, but Ace King gets there not once, twice, but 3 times with the full house. So yeah, 8's bust every time, I feel like. Nick asking, how much did you bet on college basketball that year? I can't even remember because it was back when it was just Bodog. So me and my buddy hit some ridiculous 3K 7 to 18 parlay. It was it's too long of a story and too irrelevant to the majority of our audience to continue, but Cole here with 62K. He's going to be the next one due to shove, but Terry on a heater here. Terry opens his tank, going to call. Albert here with ace queen. Out of the small blind. And he just going to call here. I think against some shorter stacks, it might be a jam in this spot, but Definitely in a cash game, it's almost always a 3-bet in the spot, but it's just because of where the blinds are at and how deep they are. Or you can just flop top pair. Both the Tank and Terry here with the straight draw. Albert trying to set the trap here with a check. And he has got one on the hook here as Frank going to try to c-bet here. I mean, Frank can assume that he's up against a lot of just connected cards by Albert, and if Terry checking in the spot could mean an underpair or ace king or a similar ace jack. Like I totally understand the bet here in the spot, so it's probably worth the stab to just try to see if he can pick it up. And Albert was counting on that, puts in the raise. Folks saying it should be a jam. Again, it is on the bubble here, so it's, top 4. I think with the blinds where they're at 4K, 8K, that it's not, I think, immediately a jam there. I don't know. I like Albert's move here in this spot just because I realize what Internet Psycho 101 gameplay says, where just everything turns into a shove, but there can be some subtleties as far as when you get in the live format and mix things up a little bit. So we'll continue. Eric asking Covington or LeBron. Talking about the Covington kids or Robert Covington. Because I think LeBron is better than most of them. Yeah, that's what's going on here in this Green Bay Packer game. Hopefully no good for Green Bay, but it looks like they're up 13-7. Aaron Rodgers, the 106 yards and a touchdown. Just checking out the stats here, hoping my opponent in fantasy players are doing terrible. They certainly are, so best case scenario right now, guys. All right, so we're going to get a color up here of our chips by Floorman Bert, Legend Bert. Cole going to fold here as the Tank here with 10-8 suited. And, all right, blinds 5K, 10K, we're going to get a walk in the big blind. So Cole with not much left. Louis here with 127, so he's got 12 bigs. Terry with 16. Tank with 28. Melt with 33. I think that means Albert here in the chip lead, just slightly here on Melt. But yeah, it was a pretty good slate of games here. You had Pittsburgh and Houston went late. Cincinnati and Philly tied. I watched my Minnesota Vikings cough up the game here to the Titans. Nick Foles coming from second string to starter to lead the Bears in the second half. Jets flopped. Chargers didn't play great today against Carolina. Tom Brady against the wounded Denver defense went out and crushed. Detroit got a win in Arizona. We had that really thrilling game between Seattle and Dallas. There was a lot of really good games today. Buffalo, their comeback against the Rams. Man, there was a lot going on. Fantastic game. And a lot going on here as we've got a jam by Mr. Cole. He's going to get no action from the small blind, but he stays afloat. Your studio says the Bears. Man, I tell you, Foles he's an Austin native, played at Westlake High School, Super Bowl champion. Dude's been there. He's got some familiarity with that scheme. That it was only going to be time before they decided to go to him. And Atlanta's just not really that strong on the defensive side. So we'll see what you cut. Hey man, Bears are surprising 3-0. Everybody kind of counted them out here. They didn't think that would be as good as Green Bay or Minnesota. Even in some cases, Detroit. All right, we got Frank the Tank here with Ace Queen under the gun as we've got the color up. We've got more of those 25K brownish orange chips, the pink 5Ks, and the yellow 1Ks. All right, so Albert here going to splash around with 10-9 of diamonds. Melt here with some aces, though, on the button. Oh, is he going to get cute here? He is going to just take a trip to Smoothie City. Maybe hope somebody decides to jam, and he has got a new customer. Cole here going to try to squeeze, maybe in the hopes that he can get this through. But he is going to get some bad news if he does decide to jam here. He's going to count it out. I think if he thinks about it, he realizes he's going to get no fold equity, but just because you've already had the opening raise call, like it's one thing maybe if it's a min raise and you've got just one, you can represent a little more strength by jamming 67K in. He might try it though. And this is just where Melt's pre-flop smooth call pays off here, that he's potentially could lure an opponent in, but you understand Cole's dilemma there. And with already a 10K big blind, 10K as the big blind ante, 14K more for Terry to be the fourth here in the pot. And here we go, four ways. Straight draw here for the Tank and for Alberts. Nothing here for Terry. Melt here with some aces. Probably time to bet. But Albert going to try to take a stab at it. And we got an all-in jam here by Melt, who's now just going to pick up about 176K in tournament chips. Yeah, Albert's never calling here, but it's... We'll lay it down. Albert's banking on the fact, I mean, he's there's no idea if Melt has aces here in this spot, like, ever, so it's... He's just going to try to attack it, just if any underpairs or missed hands, just completely back away from it, because you're not going to have to make a whole lot of multi-street bluffs here. Like, just sometimes think these players find that if you can just guess correctly that the board misses with your opponents, it's just free. It's free money, essentially. All right, let's see. We got Miami up 86-79 here towards the end of the third. Celtics fighting to force a Game 7. Otherwise, we're going to get Lakers Heat in the finals. I'll be all right for it. Jedi Master Ted says he is Hollywooding, however. Yeah, you know. That's up to interpretation, but he also doesn't want to make it clearly apparent that he just bet with 10 high, so... All right, Louis here limps with Jack 10. Here's opportunity here for Cole. He has just under 7 big blinds. He has 6 big blinds left. Decides this is not the spot that, just in case Louis is limping with real strength there, but as we see, I just always get in the mode when anytime it's late in tournaments a limp, I'm just like, Jack 10 just limped here, right? And that's just the immediate hand that goes in my range. I'm just trying to look up and snuff out what somebody else might be holding. Nobody's really connected on this. Frank has got bottom pair. Louis does have the 10 of spades. Going to check. So Frank here with the best hand with a pair of deuces. Got to dodge an 8-king as Terry hits, or a straight here for Louis. So after it's checked twice, Terry's going to better king. Where in a lot of cases, like outside of somebody maybe checking a flush, like this is almost always the best hand here. And just, 15K bet I think is reasonable here, but just happened to get stonewalled into a nut straight. Fold out and say I'll see it on the street. All right, so Louis chips up a little bit. Terrius can be down to 10 big blinds, but has the button to work with, so it's still an opportunity to double or triple up if the right scenario is down here to our last 6 players. Started with 34. And we'll keep it going here on TCH Live. As about that time here, the broadcast, you want to check in from wherever you are watching from or whoever you are rooting for. Accept that too. Like, hey, you're a family member of Louis or something. Be like, hey, this is Louis's sister, saying like, I sort of hope Louis wins, but all right, I'm kidding. I'm teasing, of course. But William Lottie says checking in from hello from my house. Fortunately, busted there with ace deuce. As we've got a raise. Frank going to pick it up with no opposition. Yeah, welcome to be a chat pro. Otherwise, check in with us here in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. And it is always your patriotic duty to smash that like button. I'm not sure what it's what it would be for anybody outside of the United States, because that wouldn't. I should have really thought through that joke, but either way, as we continue, again, my name is Mike Youngblood Victoria, here our producer, running the controls. Eugene Green. Cole is my stepson. He never cleans his room. Gonna jam here on the hijack. Here with Jack 5 suited. Just figures this is a spot where he can pick up the blinds here. Terry's got ace 6. Tough to be the second one in the pot with no real fold equity at this point. But Frank, the tank, has got queens. And a chance to bust somebody. JTN, I'm sorry, I missed you in the chat here. This is what's up, Mike Randy in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's right. I'm sorry, I missed the initial shot out there. This is a pretty nice day here. This is kind of like a summer day here in Austin. All right, Frank here with some queens. Cole trying to stay alive. He's going to have to get lucky. He pairs up his 5s. Got backdoor hearts. Queen's still good. Queen's still good here for Frank. Got to avoid a jack or a 5, and that is neither of those. So the tank has knocked out Cole. We're down here to our final 5. Terry here. Looks like we're going to pay out an extra spot here for 5th. Again, as we look at our payouts there, 2,400 for first, second 1,620, third 1,140, fourth 840. So we'll see what they like to pay out 5th here in the spot.
Yeah, but what do you have for?
So we get the update.
Those numbers are wrong.
All right, as we continue, we've got also someone Ed's checking in from California. Thomas Bolts ain't done, meaning he smashed the lake like just an amazing audience member. Matt Benjamin watching from the heart of the Arizona desert. All right, the tank here in the cutoff going to raise with ace 10, but just pick up the 25K in blinds and antes. You can join us Monday for 5-5 Uncapped. They'll be here for commentary. We will have Bart Hansen do the following week's Monday, 5-5. I need to try to find a good 5-5er to come here in the commentary chair here with me tomorrow night. So we'll see if we can get somebody. 90 and to 88 Boston leading here to start the fourth. Back and forth and back and forth they go as they have all series. And back and forth we go here on the felt. I'm not sure what happened. Did Louis full draw? I didn't see that. That might have been a misread. All right, 10K. We got a limp by Louis. Terry going to check the option out of the big blind. Is anybody paired up on this? No, King High is still best. Yeah, eat the expo. If hey, Aaron ever wanted to do commentary here, yeah, by all means. So it is going to be Louis picking up the pot here as board brings queen. He bets out and everybody gets on out. I have a cousin. Ethan saying, I have a cousin who is unemployed. I will let him know you need somebody. Only the best and brightest here to join us in the commentary chair. Figure go scope out some soup kitchens. You know, we can get ourselves a whole step. Okay, that sounds a little mean. But 5K, 10K big blind ante. Here's we're going to pay out 5th place. We'll get the updated payouts here at some point, but figure that all out soon. All right, here we go. Mel thought about maybe a button raise, and we're going to get a walk here for Frank. Frank gets a walk, because it's Terry down to 7 bigs, Louis at 17 bigs, Albert at 22 bigs, Frank with 38 big blinds, and Melt with 44 big blinds at this point. Blinds 10K. And, or excuse me, 5K, 10K, so. Again, Thursday, 1-3 match the stack. Guys, if you see highlight reels, we drop them like 2 to 3 times a week with hands from the various shows. Make sure to give those a good old like. All right, we got Melt here in the cutoff. And we've got a pre-flop raise and a fold. Got Hillbilly in the chat, world's greatest Auburn fan. You know, a guy who's Austin local here is your offensive coordinator. Mr. Chad Morris, originally from Lake Travis High School, then went to Arkansas to coach. Now is on the offensive side for Auburn. Looked decent yesterday. Excuse me. So we'll continue here. Blinds 5K, 10K. Yeah, we've got high hands Tuesdays and Thursdays here at Texas Card House between 4 p.m. and midnight. All right, here we got the jam here by Terry. And we've got Frank, the tank, here with ace queens. Bad news here for Terry. We're going to get a re-raise. We're rooting, all respect here to Frank, but we're rooting for a Terry double up here. But a chance for Frank to reclaim some chips that went awry and some coin flips has got Terry pretty much crushed here. As got an ace. Gonna need to hit an 8 though. There's only 2 of them left. And a king here on the end as Terry has been knocked down. We'll get a table tap from around the rest of the table. It said it only came back from like a 1K chip stack at one point to get here to the final table to cash. Well done here, Terry Hatcher. See her again, hopefully sooner rather than later. So we are down here to 4 here on TCH Live. Sunday has so Oklahoma losing yesterday against Kansas State, Mississippi State beating LSU. That was replacing a lot of money. Auburn rolled over Kentucky. Texas with a miracle comeback. Vandy kept it really close with Texas A&M last night. Like that was, A&M was like a 30-point favorite, and Vanderbilt was like a touchdown away the entire game. So Tennessee and South Carolina played a really good game from what I watched. Pittsburgh and Louisville. So now that we got like the SEC teams in and more of the Big 12 teams, like it just felt more like a real college football Saturday. Or it's not. Ham University against Carrot Tech. Yeah, that's just not interested. All right, so we got a raise here by the Frank. Here up to 25K. Call and a defend here by Melt, but Queen 10 suited. Thanks, appreciate that. This group is funny, Mike. Commentary, excellent. Appreciate it. Just here for the fans, man. Well, Frank has flopped a straight draw. Melt has flopped second pair. Bet of 22K. Hillbilly says Big 12. Ha ha ha. Hey, man, I grew up in heart of Big 12 country. There's some better football games in there than you think, but I'm rooting for Iowa State. Beat TCU. It was good for them. All right, second pair as we're going to have a bet or call. All right, checking a check here as we go heads up here to the river. 4 of spades. Frank does have the 10 of spades. It doesn't really represent anything that he can use as significant information to make any kind of decisions. Does give the last opportunity to bet here if he decides. I am almost assured like Melt is going to call just about any bet after the turn check doesn't really change. Like Frank has to be really tricky to check back. I guess maybe ace-5 gets there, but it's just like Melt's almost put in a position where he just has to call here because he's just getting bluffed so frequently. Right attempt there by Frank. I think the right idea is there, but it's just like with what he has, like I don't think Melt is getting away from a lot of bets unless somebody really barrels it 3 streets. But after the turn check, he's just kind of in a position where most players, regardless of the skill level, they're just kind of lured into calling in that spot, and he's calling with the best hand. TX Poker says TCH is great action all weekend, and all week and weekend long. Also a latte machine as well, and massages from Texas Royal Touch for $1.50 a minute. Oh man, I'm hurting today. Like I might be what I do the second I walk out this door. Oh, getting old and creaky. Eugene Green, but they don't play a lick of defense. I don't know. I always tend to err on the side of caution when we just say like this conference is X because there's just always a lot of outliers that exist within that, but it has certainly been a conference highlighted more by the offensive side of things, but a fair opinion as we hold up the action here and get ready to move on to our next hand. Alec Torelli says he has range advantage. So now it's in our level change here between 6K and 12K. Yeah. That's agree with you, Eugene. But I think that's the cross away with a lot of college offenses now. Like I don't really think the SEC plays all that much defense as compared to the reputation it used to be, where it's just I don't know, everybody's throwing it, spreading it. Like Mississippi State threw the ball 60 times yesterday. I don't know how many times they've ever done that in the last 20 years that you can sit there and say like Mississippi State's going to throw the ball 60 times. Mike Leach in the house. All right, here we go. Top pair here for Tank. We've got a King High Flush Draw here for Melt. Two of the big stacks here on the table. So we got a bet here by Frank. Also, oh, excuse me, he has top two. And also with the ace of clubs. So he's, well, I'm really sure Melt is just going to lay down a King High Flush Draw here to this. I probably imagine being out of position is a little less advantageous to do so. I am surprised with the stack that he is not going to at least take a turn card. Alec Torelli's hitting chips says we have some deeper stack poker for this tournament. Stacks consolidated quickly. Yeah, that did happen. Like it was just sort of like we had a three-way all-in between Eric and what was it, Davey? Yeah, both they got in with ace king versus four, so that set kind of a like in Dave. Oh no, it wasn't Davey. It was Eric that had like 150K. So it was, like I said, just a consolidation there really quickly, just based on the hand matchups. So I think we are confirming at blinds 6K and 12K. Oh, we're having a dealer change here. So we will continue here on TCH Live. Make sure to smash that like button. Click subscribe. I didn't even look lately. What we're 10,600 subscribers. Continuing to grow. If you're just catching us here for the first time, let us know where you found this stream from. So YouTube recommendations, did a friend tell you this show is amazing? Why aren't you already watching it? I don't know what your friends are like, but 96, 94 as Tyler Hero cans a 3 with 8:06 left here. In game 6, Boston trying to force game 7 here up 2, and a whole lot of sports going on. If that's your thing, if that's your deal. If it's not, hey man, I apologize. Imagine, somebody's like a Harry Potter fan starting to talk about Harry Potter to me all the time. I wouldn't love that either. So try to be respectful of the folks that, sports not their number one priority in life. Not dwell on it for too long, but all right. So we've got Melt on the button with King 8 of Hearts, sitting here with 531K. Marie Jules Julie says hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome here to the chat. As Melt is going to pick up the blinds and the antes. Alex Rice says he needs to call. He's being exploited. He could even raise with ICM considerations. Actually, he doesn't have exactly range advantage, but yeah, I think it's absolutely a call in that spot just because Frank can bet so many hands that aren't two pair that the upside is you put some money with it and with an almost unbeatable hand if you hit it against a player with a lot of chips, so it's Jeff Cohen says, bro, why can't you talk about Star Wars, man? That's why I'm here. We're going to have a Star Wars night here on TCH Live. Everybody dresses up as characters. We can hire RT22 to run solvers. Apparently that's a controversy now. Players running solvers online. Benjamin Buckman said, just cracked your 5th beer, MJ. Good for you, man. I've not had any, unfortunately. So we're going to have a 26 raise here by Frank. We're supposed to generally have the 1K chips off the table, but Frank going to be extra spicy and make it 26K. So Louis going to call here out of the big blind as we go heads up. So hopefully we get our board run out here as I think maybe the cards might not be over the reader, so that's, there we go. We got it. Right down there. Top 2 here for Frank. Louis got squat douche, nothing. He does pair up a queen here. That might give him an opportunity to maybe try to bluff at this. Would be a very bad move, and he checks. Frank here now going for the turn bet here with his top 2 pair. So bet at 36K. Oh, he's going to call here with a straight draw. Or no, excuse me, he's just going to call here with 2nd pair. Let me try that one more time. He's going to call with 3rd pair. Frank here with top 2. 10 hits the river. Okay, now I got my bearings underneath me here. So Frank's flop check and then turn bets gets at least a little bit out of Louis, who pairs up his queen to try to maybe go to showdown, but had no chance. Not a chance. Again, we're taking it from the point of view that like we can't see that Frank has ace king there. So if you're Louis, there are some turn bets there that can represent, you know, like I just gonna take a stab with any random X hand. So I don't like I definitely don't like it from his stack perspective there, but I'm not gonna crucify him for it because he could have absolutely had a window to bluff the river there and rep a jack, but I just don't think he's in a position to be able to think that way. Mostly just trying to look to go to showdown and see if his hand's is worth anything, and he gets up from the table as Albert here with jack 7 of hearts, one opponent already out. Come on, Albert, raise it up. You only have to go through one guy. Man, he's going to fold here as Hillbilly says Texas A&M and Oklahoma sure lit it up. Yeah, that's the thing, too. Like, these guys, it's an untraditional preseason, I think, for a lot of, especially on the college football side of things, where by the time you got into conference season, you've gotten to play South Dakota State or the Citadel or any of the other power teams that SEC generally schedules out of conference. Wofford. You know, just those little guarantee games that they're favored by 50 that you can get your timing and rhythm down and figure out who your starters are. So there was just a lot of high variance as far as if you were a team that did not have a lot of continuity. It was a bit of a coin flip out there.
114? Okay, cool. Those numbers are right. You're good. Thank you.
All right, so we've got a raise here by Albert under the gun. And we've got Frank the Tank here with ace queen out of the big blind, and this is generally a shove for me here in most spots. See what Frank decides to do if he's just going to flat here. Albert just doesn't have enough that. And he's going to show it to him as Albert insta folds here with ace jack. Didn't even give it that much thought. Jeff Cohen said that looks like a pretty cool poker room they're playing at. It is absolutely a very cool poker room. So Terry finished in 5th place, going to take home 2 hundo. As we see our updated payouts there on your screen as we are down to 4-handed. All right, is Louis back here, and he's woken up with aces.
Yeah, they're good. Thank you.
So Obama 26 just to piss you off, and oh no, come on Louis, you got to get it in there. No time for trappy. We've got the tank.
Okay, great.
Louis though might get a chance to maybe trap here, but Louis got about 60K back, a 48K pot, so maybe if his opponent pairs up, he can extract a little bit. Both players are going to miss, though. Jeff Cohen says, I'm out in South Florida. We got a few cooler rooms, but those seats and tables are nice. They're at TCH. So we got a shove here by Louis, and quick fold out. So I guess by limping, he got another 5K. Out of Frank, who called the small blind there. So now Albert and Louis both at about the same chip mark at about 9K, or excuse me, 9 big blinds. And it's Frank and Melt swimming around him. Iowa Lizard, I'm offended by the Obama shirt. I'm offended. All right, should have flapped the flush just to punish him. We'll continue here on TCH Live. Make sure to hit that like button, click subscribe. If you're just tuning in here for the first time, let us know just how you found it. Some folks got it from Crush Live Poker. Been on John Little's YouTube stream or from Saul for a while. Maybe just found it randomly while you're looking for tips on how to wash your dishes. And they're like, holy, how did this come in my recommendations? This is much better use of my time. As we're going to get a full down here by Albert, as Louis will get a walk. Matt R., I'm offended by the terrible commentary. I'm offended. All right, 107K, 114K, and then we've got Melt here with Melt in the tank. Neck and neck. So we're at halftime yet at that Packers game, 17-13. Saints lead. So I think, the Saints were like 3-point favorites here at home. You had Alan Lazard getting a 5-yard touchdown pass, and Emmanuel Sanders, the pickup from Denver, getting a 10-yard touchdown to close the end of the first half. So we went 17-13. Always a really good game when these two teams meet up, but they got a raise here by the tank, and we've got Melt folding out. Bob, I'm offended. You're offended. Christopher Keegan, is there a money line? Dan Quinn losing his job by Monday? I don't know. I don't know if the Atlanta's at that point where you can just blame it squarely on the coach 3 weeks into the season. Like, if this stuff was happening repeatedly and it's week 8, 9, 10, 11, then you're like, okay, this follows a habitual pattern here. But I just don't think their personnel is that great on the defensive side in Atlanta. So I don't know what Dan Quinn can't tackle them for these guys. That's the weird part about this when we criticize head coaches. Like, yeah, we can scheme up, we can coach up and all this stuff, but, players got to make plays. Matt R., thank you for taking my troll with appropriate humor, Mr. Commentator. You got it. I'm here for everybody's fun. All right, we got a 6K call and the tank here with the call, or the big blind. All right, we've got ace, king, king, so whoever decides to bet it, this is going to win it. I think both of these players waiting for Albert to get knocked out, so the tank does turn a wheel draw. Bet here by the tank, though, is Melt going to fold out to his... Okay, so we're four-handed at this point. Did we get it? Did Albert really fold ace-7 at this point? I saw somebody in the chat say that. No, it was 8-7. It was not ace-7. Okay, that... Matt White, hey Mike, just qualified for the Club WPT 100K Championships in November. Let's hope we're safely playing poker at that point. Congrats, Matt. Way to go. All right, TCH chat. We not only chat pro everything, but we also make it abundantly clear where our biases are and our misinformation comes from. Let's not be a party pooper. Can we just keep politics out of this for our lives for like 3 hours? Like, I'll troll a little bit and joke, but let's keep it like anything but that madness that makes us scream for just a little while. We'll see. Tuesday is a debate, so maybe we'll have more fodder to point and yell at each other about. But here on the final table, Albert and Louis both with 9 big blinds. For that coveted first prize, around 2,000. I think it's now like 200 or so. Either way, we'll get it rocking and rolling. All right, folded around here to the blinds. Again, four-handed as Louis. Potential shoving hand. Albert's not gonna push the small blind. All right, here we go. So 2,320, 1,566, third 1,102. Iowa Lizard. Politics is everywhere. Well, if you choose it that way. I don't think it's inherently like jammed in your face as whether or not like you choose to make it that way. You should be like, yeah, there's a hint of it, but there's other stuff there too. People would politicize a can of soup, for God's sakes. That soup's not good because of taxes. That soup was great. Let's make that soup great again. And then back and forth we go. You see how it works? Whereas, like, I like the soup. It tastes delicious. Well, the Democrats don't want you to have a soup. All right, we've got Albert to jam here with ace-5. We've got Louis here with king-queen. Is Louis going to jam for his last 114K and melt here with no hand? Chance maybe knock out 2 opponents if he called here. He's got 2 random cards. He is going to fold it out, but Well, 2 will enter, only 1 will survive. If Louis does not win this, he will have 7K in chips back. So he'll be on the button, though. So if he does not knock out Albert here, so we got king, queen with a straight draw to a jack, turns a queen, and that will eliminate Albert. Louis now here in third in chips as the people's champion, Albert. We'll go home in fourth with $812. Yet another appearance on TCH Live by Albert. So well done, sir. Tough to keep getting here. Keep making it deep into these tournaments. Probably see him in that 1-3 game, I'm sure, again at some point. Does ATX player with a great point here. The only debate I like hearing is if beans belong in Chile, but chili is the state dish of Texas and is short for chili con carne, which is meat with peppers. Man, I was so in a chili mood today. I need to plan these Saturdays out where nothing but college football, chili. I don't know, what's a perfect Saturday for you guys for... Somebody sent me a great chili recipe a long time ago, but three-handed here as Melt's going to complete out of the small blind. As Melt to scan it, he's got a couple of 10s. Oh, we got the tank raising out of the big blind with king 6. Melt had just simply limped with the 10s, three-handed, and see if he puts in a big raise here over the top. Iowa Lizard says the Bears. Bears are 3-0 right now. I don't know what's in the sauce, but it's I've just not gotten to really watch a ton outside of some of the drives by Fools today. So 3-bet here by Melt up to 100K. They're gonna get the full down. Yeah, I had that thought coming into this year that like everybody's talking about Minnesota, Detroit, Green Bay. Like nobody was talking about Chicago. I really felt like seriously, just kind of the Trubisky situation. So Christopher Keegan, will there be some kind of cornbread with that chili? Great question. Bob, chili concoction of scraps. Yeah, I think it's about time I be a grown-up and make my own chili. It's gonna be my goal for this next weekend.
Okay, I'm done mine.
All right, Melt here has become a card rack as he picked up 10s. Now it's gonna pick up queens on the button. Well, this looks like the end of Boston's season as 121-108 with 55 seconds left. The dream is over. Tough to come back from 3-1, but they had a good shot at it. Miami, just a better team for these set of circumstances. No home court for Boston to really make that arena rock and put the pressure on. So Miami's performed really, really well, and they deserve to be there, so it's going to be LeBron against his old team. Best of 7. We finally close out the NBA bubble here in this coming weeks. Should be a fantastic series. Good showcase here for the NBA. So we got a car alarm going on here in the background. There's a fold around here in the small blind here, three-handed. Oh, my goodness. Christopher Keegan says, Nick and I will be over when you do make that chili. No, you won't. No sharing. That's going to go all down my gullet. No, I kid. That'd be... I kid, of course. Ethan says, chili and raw oysters is a good first date dinner. Absolutely. Advise all of our audience to take that advice. All right, as we continue here on TCH Live, guess John Shack says he's got a great chili recipe. Everybody says they do. Like, on the scale of whoever's got a Williams says that alarm going off behind the building. No, this was through the delay at that point in time, 10 minutes or 15 minutes ago. That was the, you can hear it probably through the dealer mic there that somebody's alarm was going off. That's where they're parked is probably close to where those windows are next to the final table. So why that's a little more audibly loud than normal, so I apologize there, but I can't control that. It happened like 15 minutes ago. No. Brad Fick says, if your chili doesn't have beans, then it's not chili. Strong point there by Brad Fick. All right, there's a limp here by Melt. Frank the Tank here with King Queen. Let's go, Frankie. Well, I guess we're delving into meat choices, particular veggies, preparation time, sides. Oh my God, I've never been so excited in my life. Like, I might just go home right now and figure out how the hell to do this. All right, so again, not a whole lot of action here at three-handed as kind of passive players between Louis and Melt that it's not, this is probably not the stream that's going to be big three bets and barreling bluffs outside of Frank, so this kind of becomes kind of card dependent, whether you'd like it or not. We'll hopefully see if we can get some hand matchups to intermingle and get in there and scruff it up. Right now it's, all right, we got pocket eights versus King Jack. That might be it. Raise up here by Louis. He's only got about 188K back. Melt can jam some of these spots here too, but Louis gonna bet his hand as Mount has missed it. Michael Stott says, I'm on my way right now for cash all the way from Waco. Have a safe trip. Yeah, get out your chili takes right now. Clay Martin says 3 meat, ground pork, beef, and venison. But we are going to get a floating call here by the Melt. See if Louis is he going to bet it here? Going to jam it? He's going to jam it. There you go, Louis. Boom. Melt here has turned 2 overs and a diamond draw. It looks like he's going to try to... Is he going to think about calling here? It'd be a really loose call for a lot of chips, but you get a chance he can knock out his opponent. Nah, it's starting to look like a fold here. We wanted to kind of know how much... Yeah, and he's sitting with just under 500K to be able to knock an opponent out. Ground pork beef. Man, you're... Oh, he's going to call. He's going to call with 1 card to come. 2 overs and a flush draw. Misses. 2 pair here for Louis. And that takes a chunk out of Melt's stack as he was probably even better position than he thought because if Louis had a queen, he was basically just banking on the 1 over card, but that is going to be a big double up here for Louis. Gary C says, so dumb. Heat would have never made the finals if the season was normal. I don't know. They were the one that was the best matchup for Milwaukee, regardless if they were going to have their home arena or not. Like, Mike Budenholzer still's not ever, like, adjusted anything he's done here in the playoffs. So I don't know if it matters if there's going to be fans there in Milwaukee or not by that point. So, I mean, all the other teams floundered. I mean, like, Toronto was not quite as good as we thought. Boston was just a better matchup for them. I mean, maybe in there's some scenarios they don't, but it just seemed to me like they've been the best team. They're the hardest working. They're the best energy. One of the best coaches. Unconventional superstar. Great shooters. That's what wins, man. And they got a great defensive stalwart in Bam Adebayo. So who's to say they here are the best team out of this group? Clay Martin says Ethan obviously never had good chili. That's right. Texans, there's something they're proud in barbecue. It's also in chili. That's why I'm scoping the folks here for the best and brightest minds. I mean, I want to spend like $50 putting some chili together, but that's a little overkill. All right, we got a fold on the button here as Melt with a 6 to tank. Here with 4 deuce suited.
I'll just need the amounts for the shop so I can display it on the screen when I figure it out.
ATX Poker's hand Thursday should be a mix of 1-3 and a chili cook-off. I agree. We can just adjust one of the cameras out there. And just be me out there tasting chilies. Gonna have some of the equities posted there between the players.
I mean, you're technically.
We have a what looks like a min raise here by the Melt and a call here by the tank.
Yeah, I just hold tight because I need a payout so I can put it on the screen and then we can be done. So just hang tight until I get that number.
So top pair here and a flush draw for Melt.
I'm going to.
23 for you to first, 15, 6 to second, and 11 to you. Yeah, you're good.
Looks like we might have had a partial misdeal on the turn flop, so we're going to have to mix these back together. Floorman Bird here rocking it for us. There's the idea. Post-pandemic chili cook-off and poker. So this is our new board here as this pair and a flush draw here for Melt. So, I mean, this does give Tank a bottom of a straight draw that he might try to bluff at, but I think he's going to check here almost always. Oh, hit a 5 here. Frank's now made a 4 to 8 straight. Melt here with a pair and a flush draw. Time to bet here for both. Or for Frank.
1988 for first, 1750 for second, and 1250 for third. Okay.
Frank's going to bet it. He can rep a 9. He can rep a 4. He can rep a better 2 pair set. Melt here had called a lot of chips with pretty much just a flush draw. And I'm going to fold as Nick from UMass. And it's crazy that Derek Jones Jr. and who else did he mention that weren't? Myers Leonard back in the lineup more to match with Lakers size. I mean, I think they're both relatively positionless teams, so it's like you essentially are just wanting to put your best 5 out there. So, I mean, they could probably mix them in a little bit just because you don't have to I mean, the thing with Jones, you get a superior defender and a better guy that can run it on the break. So we're getting closer here to the to potentially a heads-up matchup, but we'll keep it going here on TCH Live. Make sure to hit the like button and click subscribe. Again, we have high hands Tuesdays and Thursdays here at Texas Card House. So if you want to come out here, high hand of the hour is at about $700, I think, once we come back here on Tuesday. Again, we've got Ladies Night, 50% off your hourly here at Texas Card House. And for the rest of this month, what do we got? 3 days of this left. We've got reverse happy hour, so you can still take advantage of that tonight. After 1 a.m. to close, 25% off your hourly. And regular happy hour every day here this month from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. All right, have a good night here. ATX Pokers is up. What's going on, Alan Piscatella? This is Sup TCH Hatters, a bit late. That's right, man. Where have you been? All right, so they talking here on the table. What do we? Christopher Keegan says, I'm still waiting for that lady stream. Yeah, it would be. That would definitely be fun to do again. Make sure to get the right group together. All right, so as we approach hand at 45. Mike Howard, what's the hourly fee for the card house? $12 an hour. Again, so if you're saving 25% off for a happy hour, you're paying like $8 per that time. Got a $5 super chat. Says I may be in Austin and maybe Dallas over Thanksgiving. Will TCH be open over the holidays? I don't know yet. Well, I mean, I would think probably Thanksgiving Day or that Thursday. Probably closed, but again, it's hard to know what's going to happen about a month out from now. It's just kind of with the circumstances, you're just kind of taking everything day by day, month by month. So generally, we try to have a good little mix of like, hey, this is open or it's not. But I've not gotten any indication of what that's going to be. But appreciate the $5 super chat. If you want to tip the stream, you can certainly do so with the super sticker or super chat. So we had Melt raise out of the big blind. Louis going to call here with Jack 10. All right, here we go. Ace 4, ace. 7 still best here with Melt. Yes, Ethan, TCH Dallas update. We've had, like, we're showing it there on our Instagram where we're at piece by piece. So it's a lot that goes on, especially in a new city where they've not necessarily had legal poker. So, yeah, be courteous in mind to realize that process is not always, like, linear, and just with COVID, contracts, and things like that, it's just, we want it open as much as you are, and the day it's open is going to be a magical, awesome day. And if you want to stay in the loop on that, again, subscribe to the text list. Text TCH Dallas to 21000. Peep the website, texascardhouse.com. Follow on Instagram, tch.dallas. I'm in a Dallas Mavs shirt right now, so I'm in totally Dallas mood. Well, it looks like that we're discussing about a chop here by Frank the Tank, so we could potentially split this up 3 ways. Frank is saying like maybe we do a 3-way chop. A little bit less for first, but more for him since he has the chip advantage. Now again, Texas Card House can't like orchestrate this, but the players can organize it and decide amongst each others. Mike Howard says, same across all card houses. I don't know what the rate is going to be for Dallas. Sometimes with other rooms, the other amenities, the price is going to be different. So I don't want to promise you something that I don't personally know myself. I just know for our room here, it's $12 per hour. Ace-4 here as we got the tank. Wheel draw here from Melt. Frank going to come out betting as he's got a flush draw. Pick up just a little bit of chips. So Frank's going to go for like an even 2,000 here. What a baller move here with the chip lead here. Essentially sent him at 2,000. Just a little bit less than first as it went down to like 2,320, I think. And then 400 more for second, 200 more for third, I believe, is what, okay, that's trying to recall as what he said here in my earpiece. So we're chopping it up. This, not totally unprecedented. So to signify it, as they get the chips right there in the middle, we have a chop. So that means we have a completion here of TCH Live. Sunday. The thrilling finish you were all looking for, I'm sure. But we'll be back for more Monday, 5-5 Uncapped. Thank you, Victoria, producer here for this. For James, who's running the floor all day. For Bert, that was tagged in, did a great job. To all our dealers, to all the folks who tuned in, make sure to smash that like button. Before you go, click subscribe. You can leave us a comment. I am out. Good night, everybody.